Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video I'm going to be taking on the challenge from Bahamut LUFENIA quest, and for this I'm bringing a party of Kuja, 8 and WoL, with a Kuja friend and Diabolos as a summon. So it's finally here. I've got Kuja all maxed and ready to go, and some of the more eagle-eyed among you may be thinking, hang on a minute, something looks different about that WoL. Why the hell has he got a burst weapon? Well, you see, it's a funny story, right? I'd finished pulling on the Kurasame banner because I managed to luck-sack his LD in about 90 tickets, and I realised that I had a bunch of base-level EXs that I wanted to throw books at, but I didn't want to spend too many power stones, and I realised that Kurasame was like the last chance I was going to get to actually pull for Cypher weapons. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to be getting a load of tickets because the Bahamut summon board's coming up. I'm just going to spam like 100 tickets at Kurasame and see what happens. Hopefully get some Cypher weapons. I did low-key want Cypher EX. Well, I didn't get Cypher EX, but I did randomly get WoL's Burst on like a blue orb. So, I mean, that's a thing, and I'm definitely not going to complain about that. So here is my King Kuja. He is completely set up. He's maxed on CP. He's fully sphered. He has all of his artifacts. I have his high armor as well. He is a favourite for me, so I'm probably going to be using him in quite a lot of Lufenias going forward. And I have to say, what a freaking difference his LD and burst weapons made to him. He's so much more fun to play now, and he's so much stronger as well. Like, he really fits into just about any team, honestly. Like, he's really good now. I mean, obviously he's not going to be as broken as characters like Lightning and Gladio, but he's really good to play. So in terms of artifacts, I have him set up with triple 108 Ultimas, which I use when I use him myself, and I have him with triple 108 330s, which is the one I have on my friend unit right now. And there is a reason for that. And also on the spheres, I've given him 7 sphere, which is bravery damage against weakness, and I've given him his own sphere, which is bravery damage again with group bravery attacks. And I've given him Saz's D sphere because I gave hopes to Lightning, and that's basically the only reason he doesn't have hopes. Otherwise, I would give him hopes as well. So you might be thinking, like, I'm going very, very heavy on bravery damage, and that's because that is the way it's going to be weighted in Lufenia. And Ultima does not have very high potency, but it does have very high damage potential because it has 2 HP dumps and a bunch of overflow. So the way that you're going to get the most out of these skills is not by pumping up attack. Well, it is. You do need attack. You can't skimp on attack. But your LD gives you 60% bonus attack just for equipping the passive. And the auras are so much stronger these days that you're not going to have as much of a problem with enemy defense as you did in early Chaos, for example. But you are actually going to be having a problem with bravery damage reduction. Now, the best way, in my experience and opinion, to combat bravery damage reduction is to directly increase the amount of bravery damage that you deal, which is why I'm going in hard with brave damage spheres and with artifacts, because I have seen Kuja's Ultima that has been hitting for peanuts, like on future content, and I do not want that to happen to my Kuja. And I'm very happy to report that there is a significant difference between having 3 108 330s and no spheres and 3 108 Ultimas and 2 brave damage spheres. It's like 50% of potency, and you can really tell. I mean, obviously it's synergy right now, and it's literally on Kuja's release, so he's going to be doing about as much damage as he possibly can anyway. But I like to be prepared, and you know me, I like big numbers, and I cannot lie. And that's basically the way we're rolling with it. So I'm bringing a Kuja friend as well, because what we want is the maximum possible uptime on our Kuja's burst effect here, because his burst effect also increases bravery damage dealt by a lot, by like 50%, I believe it is. And he also gives a 50% holy enchant, but you see, the thing about enchant stacking is it does not make you hit any harder unless it's a holy elemental attack to begin with. You can't stack enchants on non-elemental attacks, it doesn't work. Well, it does, you just don't get any bonus from it. So I know that there's been some people are a little bit confused about that. I did some testing and I confirmed it. So when Theodore comes along and Paladin Cecil, then Kuja's burst effect is going to make them hit like a truck. But until that time, he just makes everyone hit like a semi-truck. And again, the reason I'm bringing Diabolos over something like Odin is that Odin gives 30% attack when you've dropped below a HP threshold, right? Well, 30% attack is not as much as it sounds when you consider that your entire team is already getting like freaking 300% worth of aura buffs or whatever. But 30% extra bravery damage against weakness is significantly stronger as long as you have enough attack, which we do. And normally I don't like bringing double DPS teams like with Kuja and 8 over here, but because Kuja actually is an offensive support hybrid, he does have an attack aura as well, and he has that holy enchant going on, which we absolutely need. So we will have no problems proccing Diabolos on Kuja and WoL because we'll be taking HP poison damage. Unfortunately, we can't really get away from that. But 8 will be pretty much untouched for the entirety of the quest. And 8 has some extremely goofy mechanics that actually make this Lufenia a lot easier to deal with, which I'll sort of go into as we play. So on the first turn, it's important to note that the Lufenia orb increases when you hit it with holy damage. So you absolutely need a source of holy damage here, or you're basically not going to complete this Luffy. You're just going to get exploded by the orb. You can't really burst the orb down in all of its phases without having at least one holy damage dealer. Now they do actually double resist physical and ranged as well, but that's why we've got Kuja, because you press this great big LD button over here and he does this wonderful attack where he absolutely nukes the shit out of all of your opponents and he enchants everyone with holy. Now all of these guys are focusing Kuja, which we definitely do not want, so we have to go over here and hit 8's LD button. Unfortunately, that is how it is going to have to be. And then we can move the attacks over to where they should be. And this is why I've got 108 330s on 8, because we're going to be hitting a lot. We're going to be hitting very, very hard. As you can see, I've also got Kuja's armor as well, which definitely helps. And 8 actually really helps out with the orb as well, because it decreases by 1 for every turn you take, right? And it increases by 1 when you hit it with holy damage, so you're really only going to be breaking even with the orb. But if you have 8, you're actually going to be doing counter attacks, which helps to keep the orb under control. So you basically it's a lot easier to maintain the orb by using 8 than most other characters. Now another character with this effect is Aphmau, and you see there how Bahamut procced like an effect where it goes into weakened mode, and that also causes 8 to start counter-attacking. So there'll be a lot of moments like that in this quest where there'll be some kind of I'm just going to ring holy to get the speed debuff on it, but there'll be some kind of effect where it will either resummon its adds or it will do something else, and then 8 will just automatically counter-attack, and it's extremely stupid and I love it. I did not expect that at all going into the quest when I played it blind, but I figured out that it happened afterwards, and yeah, it is just all kinds of hilarious. So we have to pop the Crystal 65 here because we don't want his LD buff to fall off, and we do need to pop skill 2 because it's the only buff we don't have right now. Now as much as I do want to get up bitter end with WoL, I don't want to take the taunt away from 8. So we're going to wait until it gets all of its adds up before we actually use a skill with a taunt. I'm just going to use Shiny Shield for the time being. And then we are going to revel in Ultima's absolutely stupendous damage, which has absolutely no problems capping on every hit because my Kuja's awesome that way. And we've got synergy, that's very important too. And yeah, we're just going to... This fight is just going to be a whole lot of 8 doing counter-attacks. And a whole lot of friend Kuja spamming his LD. That's pretty much just how it's going to go in general, really. So what I'm actually going to do here is I am going to bravery attack with 8 because he has his EX up, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to EX with Kuja, and then we will HP attack with 8 to get the defense debuff, because that is an instant free turn. And then we'll EX. And playing with 8 here really makes me wish I'd actually got his high armor, because we'd just be doing huge gobfuls of damage if we had it. But you know, we don't need it, so I'm not gonna get it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am actually going to pop WoL's LD here, because we don't really want to... Well, we kind of do want to take HP damage, but we'll be taking poison damage anyway, and it gives us some more aura. As you can see, everyone's max brave is just shot up by a little bit, so so we can do it this way. And yeah, I'm absolutely going to pop the Ultima. I think this actually takes it below 80%, so yeah, it's gonna do this, and it's gonna cancel the countdown, and it's gonna summon stuff. Okay. So what's going to happen to the recast here? Is it going to actually do its ability? Yeah, it is. There we go. So that would actually resummon the ads as well, but we've already kind of done that. So you can see its damage is kind of starting to drop off a little bit here. But we're going to fix that problem. And the way I'm going to fix it is by subbing out for the friend Kuja. And we're just going to go. So I can see here that they're targeting him, but I don't really care about that. I'm just going to go straight into the burst. If we're lucky, that will even take them out. Which it hasn't, it's left them on 3%. But I think 8's counterattack will actually take out the crystals here. Oh, and it actually, the Mega Flare missed my my friend Kuja, which is even better. So now you see how much more damage 8's doing with his counterattacks. That's because the burst effect is online. Oh yeah, please, by all means do that and invoke another counterattack. Absolutely stupendous damage. So yeah, here is... Oh right, we've got a launch going on. Okay. So absolutely HP attack with him, but I'm going to bravery attack with Kuja because you want as much bravery as possible when you use the LD skill, because it does a refund. It does a bravery refund based on the amount of damage you deal. So if you deal more damage with the first attack, it's going to have a stacking effect basically. It's quite a while until the recast goes up. So you know what? I'm just going to LD. Let's get that taunt back over here, shall we? And then we're just going to press the big LD button. Boom! 500k damage, that is ridiculous. Oh my god. I never get tired of seeing that. This is Kuja, folks. He was riding the bench like 2 days. He was riding the bench yesterday and now he's an absolute monster. I love it. Okay, yeah, so we're taking a fair bit of damage, so let's use Shining Wave here. The thing that actually does really suck about this is that the poison damage that you take does count towards your HP damage here, so you do have to be pretty careful and to make sure that to keep your health high enough, because otherwise you're just gonna have a bad time, you know. So I'm not going to use LD here. I am going to use LD here. I don't want to get turn rate to get 2 turns in a row. That's going to be garbage. I just wanted a little bit more bravery before I used it, but we still did 400k damage because of reasons. Press all the buttons. Nope, sorry, not happening. Oh look, have another counter. So I'm actually going to pop my EX here because we need the 100% AoE damage. And I'm actually going to take this opportunity to refresh Bitter End with WoL, because we are going to use 8's LD the next turn again anyway. So we don't have to worry about overwriting. We don't have to worry about not having the taunt up basically. So Explosive Fist, let's go. Just look at all that damage, man. Denied. Counter. So if I do LD here, it's going to split the damage between all these three. And I actually kind of want to have 8 do all the counterattacks. So I'm just going to use Ring Holy. Yeah, like that. And then we get all the counters. Boom! You get the splash damage from this as well. And nope. Nope. Another set of counters. And again. Not happening. Man, I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, go on then. Let's do a Shining Wave. And yeah, let's do an EX. Okay, so we really need to get these things out of the way on the side over here. I'm really not feeling them at the moment. You know what, though? We have 2 turns before the things on the side take a turn. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm literally just going to go straight into my own burst again. I mean, yeah, we're taking a lot of damage, but that's only going to make Diabolo stronger. Actually, no. No, look at that. I do want to get this Famed Poison out of the way first before I go into the burst, because I don't want to take that much damage. So let me just do a bog standard Ring Holy here. Yeah, so the damage with 8 is really just disappearing. So we need to get our own Kuja's Burst effect online again to restore the output. Yeah, let's do it this way. Okay, so into the burst we go. And let's pop the LD. We know the drill by now. Yeah, let's Ultima. So that does 71k on the main target. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll actually just, this time I'll actually go Ring Holy. And then I'll go HP+++. Normally I like to go CS 65 and use 2 Ultimas, but I think in this case it's actually worth the Ring Holy for the splash damage because it's a 3 target boss. And this Flarestar should absolutely just nuke the things on the side. And then we can go into Summon and just have all sorts of fun and just pump out all the numbers. I'll never get tired of this Trance, man. This transform Kuja, he's so beautiful. Don't dare tell me he isn't. Yep. Nope. Don't think so. Yep, you just keep trying that, mate. You're just making it easier for me. Let's get this aura up. Okay, and we could do that, but we don't need to. I'm just going to go straight into summon. So we're obviously going to use LD here. I mean, look at this turn order. 512,000 damage. Okay, so we'll use the EX to heal up here, and then I'll just use 8CX. I'll use skill 2 with Kuja, and then on his next turn I'll use the LD again after WoL's given him some battery. Yeah, that's how we do it. Have some of that. Jesus Christ. It's still alive. I mean, that's kind of impressive. That's kind of impressive. And Kuja gets to finish it. How appropriate. Ultimate Plus? What do you reckon? Is he gonna die? Let's find out. Oh my god, it's alive. How are you still alive? Well, you're not anymore. There we go. That is going to be my completion run of the Bahamut LUFENIA. Okay, so obviously 8 and Kuja together kind of trivializes this, and WoL just keeps everyone super safe. But yeah, I do have to point out that there is a potential danger moment, because the 2 crystals on the side, if they ever go into a state where they're using a grey all attack, they are actually just going to nuke the shit out of you, because they're going to self-destruct, and you need to kill them ASAP. But between 8's counters and Kuja's AoE, you should do so much damage so quickly that you probably won't have a problem with it. So that's going to be my completion run of the Bahamut LUFENIA, which in my opinion is a lot easier than the challenge quest, which I've also done a video for, and I'll put that one out as well. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you're all enjoying your farming and your Kujas, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye.